Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the Niv, and we are in Deuteronomy, chapter 21. Okay? Atonement for an unsolved murder. Okay. If a man is found slain, lying in a field or in the land, lying in a field in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess, and it is not known who killed him, your elders and judges shall go out and measure the distance from the body to the neighboring towns. Then the elders of the town nearest the body shall take a heifer that has never been worked and has never worn a yoke, and lead her down to a valley that has not been plowed or planted, and where there is a flowing stream, and there in the valley they are to break the heifer's neck. Wow. The priest, the sons of Levi, shall step forward, for the Lord your God has chosen them to minister, to pronounce the blessings in the name of the Lord, and to decide all cases of dispute and assault. Then all the elders of the town nearest the body shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the valley, and they shall declare, our hands did not shed this blood, nor did our eyes see it done. Accept this atonement for your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, O Lord, and do not hold your people guilty of bloodshed of an innocent man, and the bloodshed will be atoned for. So you will purge from yourselves the guilt of shedding innocent blood, since you have done what is right in the eyes of the Lord. And this is because if there is bloodshed, a plague can come on the entire community, because God is angry at murder, at the actions of one. Marrying a captive woman. When you go to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them into your hands, and you take captives, if you notice among the captives a beautiful woman, and you are attracted to her, you may take her as your wife. Bring her into your house, and have her shave her head, trim her nails, and put aside the clothes she was wearing when she was captured. After she has lived in your house and mourned her father and mother for a full month, then you may go to her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. If you are not pleased with her, let her go wherever she wishes. You must not sell her or treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. Okay? So, once you decide, they're talking about the act of intimacy there. Once you decide, understand what this means. It means no maidservant, no slave, no thing that they ever have in any of these arrangements are they allowed to know intimately. That's not what it means. If you know them intimately, they are your wife. And now you either have to completely free them, because she's just a free woman. Now she's just a member of your society, or you're with her forever. That's the starting point. The right of the firstborn puts things in the Bible in a different context with all the other stuff that we've read, right? Because what exactly is he even agreeing to when he says you can take on people and use the word slave? Because he's not meaning that you can just treat them like they're animals, where you can just do whatever you want to them and be cruel. It certainly doesn't give you the right to, rape. Okay? The right of the firstborn. If a man has two wives, and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love, when he wills the property to his sons, he must not give the rights of the firstborn to the son of the wife he loves in preference to his actual firstborn, the son of the wife he does not love. He must acknowledge the son of his unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double share of all he has. The son that is the firstborn of his father's strength, the right of the firstborn belongs to him. So you can't play favorites and muck about with the will. Not even make it equal. There's a specific allotment that you must do. A rebellious son. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son who does not obey his father and mother and does not listen to them when they discipline him, that's most people I've ever met, his father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him to the elders at the gate of his town. They shall say to the elders, "This son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He is a profligate." Profligate. You can go look that up. And a drunkard. Then all the men of his town shall stone him to death. You must purge the evil from among you. All Israel will hear of it and be afraid. Yeah. I mean, parents having kids stoned to death is kind of, that's a reason to be afraid, most definitely. Various laws. If a man guilty of a capital offense is put to death and his body is hung on a tree, you must not leave his body on the tree overnight. Well, yes, of course. Be sure to bury him that same day, because anyone who is hung on a tree is under God's curse. You must not desecrate the land your God is giving you as an inheritance. Okay, yes. Anyone who's hung under a tree is under God's curse. Yes, so anybody you hang. So you can't leave it there. I mean, just respect for the dead. So there's the start, right? And then, animals and things. So that's just wrong. Now, you should know that this does contradict large portions of European history after they knew about this good book. In those, when they were doing the things like put this up as a warning not to act this way, the Bible says they were never supposed to do that. You put that up there, got to take it down the same day. Can't leave it up there to rot. That's just gross. Like, I'm not for killing anybody and posting up anything at all. But, to me, there's we don't act this way now. But when we get that feeling that's very disturbing. Yes, it is. And it always was. Hello, friends. Welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister. And we're in Bible study. We are in the Niv. We are in Deuteronomy, and we are in chapter 22. So, let's jump in. This starts out with the heading, Various Laws, which we started at the end of chapter 21. If you see your brother's ox or sheep straying, do not ignore it, but be sure to take it back to him. If the brother does not live near you, or if you do not know who he is, take it home with you and keep it until he comes to look for it. Then give it back to him. Do the same if you find your brother's donkey or his cloak or anything he loses. Do not ignore it. If you see your brother's donkey or his ox fallen on the road, do not ignore it. Help him get it on its feet. A woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man wear women's clothing, for the Lord your God detests anyone who does this. Now, back in these days, I'm not exactly sure how they would even know, because it's not like pants existed. So it's going to have to be something specific, because most anything that we consider men's or women's clothes these days, they did not consider it then. So I don't know. There's got to be something specific in there. But it's not just clothes, because pants did not exist then. Everybody was walking around in tunics, like long robes that either went to their knees or their ankles. Everybody in this region. In fact, during this time of the world, pants didn't exist yet. You'd have to look up exactly when pants came to be, but it certainly wasn't in the BC era. If you come across a bird's nest beside the road, either in a tree or on the ground, and the mother is sitting on the young or on its eggs, do not take the mother with the young. You may take the young, but be sure to let the mother go, so that it may go well with you, and you may have a long life. Okay, so you can eat the eggs, but you got to leave the bird to make more eggs. When you build a new house, make a parapet around your roof so that you may not bring the guilt of bloodshed on your house if someone falls from the roof. So that's good. Yep. Design and construction. We like a parapet. That's do not plant 2 kinds of seeds in your vineyard. If you do, not only the crops you plant, but the fruit of the vineyard will be defiled or forfeited to the sanctuary. Okay? Do not plow with an ox and a donkey yoked together. All right? Do not wear clothes of wool and linen woven together. It's also very specific. Make tassels on the 4 corners of the cloak you wear. Okay. That has to do with devotion and like books in the Torah, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it is also a sign that one is like studying and learning within the culture, especially during this time frame. Marriage, well, not this time frame, but pre church era, which starts with Jesus. Okay. Marriage violations. If a man takes a wife and after lying with her dislikes her and slanders her and gives her a bad name, saying, I married this woman, but when I approached her, I did not find proof of her virginity, then the girl's father and mother shall bring proof that she was a virgin to the town elders at the gate. The girl's father will say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her. Now he has slandered her and has said, I did not find your daughter to be a virgin, but here's the proof of my daughter's virginity. So I guess keep the bed sheets and give them to your parents. Interesting. Then the parents shall display the cloth before the elders of the town, and the elders shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver. That is about 2.5 pounds, or 1 kilogram. And give them to the girl's father, because this man has given an Israelite virgin a bad name. She shall continue to be his wife. He must not divorce her as long as he lives. If, however, the charge is true, and no proof of the girl's virginity can be found, she shall be brought to the door of her father's house, and there the men of the town shall stone her to death. She has done a disgraceful thing in Israel by being promiscuous while still in her father's house. You must purge the evil from among you. Now, it makes a whole bunch of stuff of what harm could it do, right? Especially for them. I'm not suggesting that we should start, we should bring this back. Don't do it. No. We're not killing anybody. But the context of why was it ever such a big deal? Because you could die. They were going to stone you to death. If, which is why we have in the previous one where if you touch her with that and there's any act of intimacy, congratulations, she's your wife forever. So don't, even if you bought her, even if you captured her, it didn't matter. You weren't allowed to touch her with that part. If a man happens to meet in a town a virgin pledged to be married, and he sleeps with her, you shall take them both to the gate of the town and stone them to death. The girl, because she was in town and did not scream for help, and the man, because he violated another man's wife. You must purge the evil from among you. So at least in that case, he dies too. But if out in the country a man happens to meet a girl pledged to a man and rapes her, only the man who has done this shall die. So, okay. Do nothing to the girl. She has committed no sin deserving death. This case is like that of someone who attacks and murders his neighbor. For the man found the girl out in the country, and though the betrothed girl screamed, there was no one to rescue her. So scream, and you won't die for what they're doing. But you have to scream. Which now you understand why we have, as a society, that expectation of rape victims. Right? Now you know where it comes from. Because you got to know where it comes from if you're going to try to fight where it is. Or if you're even going to decide what to fight. You got to know the source. If a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her, and they are discovered, he shall pay the girl's father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the girl, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives. Which to me is like, but that's torture for her. Because now she's married to a rapist. So it's not good. Man is not to marry his father's wife. He must not dishonor his father's bed. So I think they mean not just mom, but stepmom on top of mom. Which basically, if he's touched her, she's a no touchy for you. Which should be common decency. But remember, the further back in time we go, the less evolved the people were. If we are in our most evolved state, we will by nature treat all people like Jesus would treat people. With that same level of immaculate heart compassion. And until we get there, we're not even done. So the good news is we are continuing to evolve. Because we are meant to continue to evolve. Until the next video, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Bible study. This is Adventures in Pixieland. We're in Bible study. We are in the book of Luke. We are in the Niv, in the book of Luke. In chapter 10, we're doing 25 through 41. And we are jumping in. The parable of the Good Samaritan, verse 25. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law, he replied. And how do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. A, Deuteronomy 6:5. And love your neighbor as yourself. B, Leviticus 9:18. You answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this and you will live. But he wanted to justify him, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. He fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, he passed by the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was. And when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, took him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 silver coins, that's C or 2 denarii, and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said. And when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. So got medical attention, got him situated, so he could go on his way. Which of these three do you think was the neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. Mercy. Mercy is what gets people to the right place. Okay? Not aggression. Aggression isn't the way. It never is. All right? At the home of Martha and Mary, verse 38, as Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She and her sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet instantly to listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Because to them, that's not good hospitality, and she's not keeping with her gender role at that time. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. But a few things are needed, or only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. It's better to educate yourself than worry about the busyness of what needs to get done in a daily life. Sit and take the lessons that you get from the good book, or from the good Lord, in her case, because she, got to be it in person, and take those teachings into your heart. You're supposed to be reading this with the intention of, how do you apply this to your everyday life? How can you use this to make you think about how you act and interact with the world to ensure that things move in the proper direction? Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the Niv. We're in Psalms, Book 3. We're in Psalm 74. It's a maskil of Asaph. We're doing the whole song. Why have you rejected us forever, O God? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture? Remember the people you purchased of old, the tribe of your inheritance, whom you redeemed, Mount Zion, where you dwelt. Turn your steps towards these everlasting ruins. All this destruction the enemy has brought on the sanctuary. Your foes roared in the place where you met with us. They set up their standards as signs. They behaved like men wielding axes to cut through a thicket of trees. They smashed all the carved paneling with their axes and hatchets. They burned your sanctuary to the ground. They defiled the dwelling place of your name. They said in their hearts, we will crush them completely. They burned every place where God was worshipped in the land. We are given no miraculous signs. No prophets are left. And none of us know how long this will be. Like just right there. That feels very much so like I can identify with that right now. With my well, now for them, this is during one of the dysporias, clearly. Whether or not it's the Assyrian or the Babylonian, I'm not sure, because in both of them, they did come in and get pretty destructive. But, it's got to be the Babylonian one, because the Assyrian one, they didn't conquer Judah. And that is where the temple was, I do believe. So, because they had to rebuild the temple, and do believe, because the temple's in Jerusalem, that was in Judah. But how long will the enemy mock you, O God? Will the foe revile your name forever? Why do you hold back your hand, your right hand? Take it from the folds of your garment and destroy them. Left hand is for blessing. Right hand is for cursing. In this, anyway. But you, O God, are my king from of old. You bring salvation upon the earth. It was you who split open the sea by your power. You broke the heads of the monsters in the water, or the monster in the waters. It was you who crushed the heads of the Leviathan and gave him as food to the creatures of the desert. I mean, that really suggests as if some sort of like whale exploded, or a hippo, or an alligator. You know, the violent creatures that would have been. I mean, it's just like, what? It was you who opened up the springs and streams. You dried up the ever-flowing rivers. Yeah, I did. The day is yours, and yours also the night. You established the sun and the moon. It was you who set all the boundaries of the earth. You who made both summer and winter. Remember, I mean, these are all true. Yes, God, you did all those things. Remember how the enemy has mocked you, O Lord? How foolish people have reviled your name? Do not hand over the life of your doves to wild beasts. Do not forget the lives of your afflicted people forever. Have regard for your covenant, because haunts of violence fill the dark places of the land. Do not let the oppressed retreat in disgrace. May the poor and needy praise your name. Rise up, O God, and defend your cause. Remember how fools mock you all day long. Do not ignore the clamor of your adversaries, the uproar of your enemies, which rises continually. Oh man, oh man. We all at least once felt that way.